When Rigobet Song was named the head coach of the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, many were honestly pretty surprised. His appointment came in early 2022, just a few weeks before the most important matches in the country's recent history. Cameroon had to face Algeria in a two-legged playoff for a place at the FIFA World Cup. The stakes were incredibly high and, well, there was really little time to prepare. The national team needed a leader who could inspire them quickly. The federation chose a man who knew the soul of Cameroonian football, a true legend of the game who had worn the captain's armband with immense pride and passion for so many years. The decision was a bold gamble. Song was a national hero as a player, but his coaching experience at the senior level was honestly pretty limited. He was taking over a team that had just finished third at the Africa Cup of Nations on home soil, a result that actually felt like a disappointment to the passionate fans. The pressure was immense, not just from the public, but from the weight of expectation that always surrounds Cameroonian football. He had to unite a squad, devise a winning strategy, and prepare them for a battle against one of Africa's strongest teams, all within a matter of days. It was a monumental task for any coach, let alone one so new to the role. As a player, Song was known for his incredible determination and leadership. He was a warrior on the pitch, someone who never gave up. These were the qualities the Cameroonian Football Federation hoped he would bring to his role as coach. They believed his legendary status would command immediate respect from the players. He had been there and done it all, playing in 4 World Cups and a record 8 AFCON tournaments. He understood what it meant to fight for the green, red and yellow jersey. The hope was that this deep connection to the national team spirit would be the spark they needed to overcome the challenge ahead. The Cameroonian public watched with bated breath, their feelings a mix of hope and anxiety. Could their beloved Magnan, as he was affectionately known, translate his on-field greatness into coaching success? He was not a tactician with a long list of trophies from the dugout. Instead, he was a symbol of an era when Cameroon feared no one. He represented the fighting spirit and the indomitable will that had made the Lions a force in world football. His first test would be against Algeria, a team in formidable form. The stage was set for either a glorious new chapter or a painful failure. The first leg of the playoff took place in Douala, Cameroon, and it ended in disaster. The indomitable Lions lost 1-0 on their own turf, a devastating blow to their World Cup hopes. The stadium was silent, and a sense of despair swept across the nation. The dream of qualifying for Qatar seemed to be slipping away. To make matters worse, the return leg was to be played in Blida at the Mustafa Chakar Stadium. This was a fortress where the Algerian national team had not lost a single match in over 40 games. A remarkable unbeaten streak that stretched back to 2002. The odds were stacked impossibly high against Song and his team. With the pressure at its peak, Song had to lift his players from the depths of disappointment. He reminded them of their duty and the pride of wearing the national colours. He drew upon his own experiences of facing adversity throughout his long and storied career. He told them that nothing was impossible and that they had the strength to turn the situation around. In the days leading up to the second leg, he worked on building their belief. It was no longer just about tactics, it was about mentality. He needed them to go to Algeria not with fear, but with the conviction that they could achieve the unthinkable. The match in Blida was a roller coaster of emotions, a true epic of African football. Cameroon took an early lead through Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, levelling the tie on aggregate. The game was tense and hard-fought, with both teams giving everything they had. As the clock ticked into the final minutes of extra time, Algeria scored, seemingly snatching the World Cup ticket at the very last moment. The Algerian bench erupted in celebration. It looked like it was all over for Cameroon. The home crowd was delirious, believing their place in Qatar was finally secured after a long and difficult battle. But in the deepest, darkest moment of despair, magic happened. With just seconds left to play, in the 124th minute, Karl Toko Ekambi scored a dramatic winner for Cameroon. The stadium fell into a stunned silence, while the Cameroonian players and staff exploded in pure, unadulterated joy. They had done it. They had won 2-1 on the night, qualifying for their 8th World Cup on the away goals rule. They had not only booked their ticket to Qatar, but had also broken Algeria's legendary unbeaten home record. It was a victory that would be remembered forever, a testament to the indomitable spirit Song had instilled in his team. When Cameroon arrived at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, few gave them much of a chance. They were placed in a difficult group alongside Switzerland, Serbia and the mighty Brazil, one of the tournament favourites. Many experts and pundits predicted an early exit for the indomitable Lions. Adding to the scepticism, it was widely reported that Rigobet Song was one of the lowest paid coaches at the tournament. Outsiders saw a team with a young coach and a squad that lacked the global superstars of previous generations like Samuel Eto'o or Roger Milla. They were, by all accounts, the underdogs. Despite the doubts from the outside world, Song remained a picture of calm and focus. He shielded his players from the negative press and worked on fostering a strong sense of unity within the camp. He knew that his team's greatest strength was not individual brilliance but their collective spirit. His experience as a player who had competed on the world's biggest stage was invaluable. He understood the pressure of a World Cup and knew how to manage the players' emotions. His leadership was quiet but firm, building a resilient mindset that prepared them to face any challenge without fear or intimidation. The team's performance in Qatar was a direct reflection of their coach's fighting spirit. After a narrow 1-0 loss to Switzerland, they played out a thrilling 3-3 draw against Serbia, a match in which they came back from 3-1 down to earn a vital point. This performance showed their character and refusal to give up. In their final group game, they faced the ultimate test, a match against a star-studded Brazil team that had not lost a group stage game in 24 years. It seemed like an impossible task, but Song prepared his team to believe that they could make history on that fateful night, and make history they did. In a stunning display of discipline and determination, Cameroon defeated Brazil 1-0, with Vincent Aboubakar scoring a memorable late winner. They became the first African nation ever to beat Brazil at a FIFA World Cup. Although the victory was not enough to see them through to the knockout stages, they left the tournament with their heads held high. They had earned 4 points and scored 4 goals in the group stage, their best ever performance in World Cup history. Song had proven the doubters wrong, leading a team of supposed underdogs to a historic and unforgettable achievement. The achievements of the 2022 Cameroon team are even more remarkable when you consider the players at Song's disposal. This was not a squad filled with household names playing for Europe's biggest clubs, unlike the great Cameroonian teams of the past. It was a group of hard-working, committed players who bought into their coach's vision. Song managed to get the very best out of them, moulding them into a cohesive unit that was greater than the sum of its parts. He gave them the confidence to compete against the world's elite, and they repaid his faith with performances full of heart and courage on the biggest stage. This success was built on the foundation of Song's own legendary playing career. As a player, he was the embodiment of Cameroonian football. He represented his country 137 times, more than any other player in history. He played in 4 different FIFA World Cups and an incredible 8 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. As captain, he led the indomitable Lions to back-to-back AFCON titles in 2000 and 2002. He was a natural leader, a commanding presence who inspired everyone around him. This vast experience gave him a unique authority and a deep understanding of what it takes to succeed at the highest level of international football. His journey as a coach was a direct extension of his character as a player, resilient, determined and fiercely proud. From the miraculous comeback in Blida to the historic victory over Brazil, his time in charge was defined by overcoming adversity and defying expectations. He proved that leadership is not just about complex tactics written on a whiteboard. It is about inspiring belief, fostering unity, and understanding the heart and soul of a team. He took on a difficult job at a critical moment and delivered results that will be celebrated in Cameroon for generations to come, creating new legends in the process. For all these reasons, Rigobet Song deserves immense respect. He is a true icon of African football, both as a player and a coach. He stepped up when his country needed him most and led them to moments of unforgettable glory. He reminded the world of the indomitable spirit that makes Cameroonian football so special. His legacy is not just measured in wins or trophies, but in the pride and inspiration he brought to a nation. He proved that with courage and belief, An underdog can indeed make history and stand tall among giants.